I don't know how to start this. I want to put this primarily on Twitter and share this, but at the same time, I want to put it as many places as I can and get it to as many people as I can. So it'll probably go on Twitter too, but I don't want. It's not to make money off of it, so I'm not even going to monetize this. I just want to be another voice that hopefully, eventually gets to Rockstar or gets to more people, and more people can see this and make their own decision off of it. I'm obviously coming from the side of it that I want to be able to mod GTA 5. I want to be able to mod single player to my heart's desire. As you probably know, a lot of my channel was built on that, which would make sense then for me to want to do that. That being said, as I covered it in the last video, Take-Two and Rockstar are within their rights to say to do this. Does that make it right, though? Does that make it right for them to do it to the community? No, at least I don't think so. You have such a large community built around making mods for GTA 5. And more recently, Rockstar, at least, Rockstar through PC Gamer basically issued a statement that, the Open4 was used to modify GTA 5 and GTA 5 Online. If you go to the forums and what have you, that's a big question. In what way was Open4 used to modify files for GTA Online? Maybe because it lets you see into the files of GTA 5 in a certain way, you might be able to pick apart some things. But again, it's not Open4 that did it. Just because that tool exists doesn't mean that it was Open4 that did it. And that's what's, kind of frustrating about this is Open4 is just for single player. Heck, it even prevents you from going online with Open4, in that directory and everything. So they even made it and made sure that you weren't able to go online with it. It's unfortunate. And, I highly doubt that Rockstar will get this exact video. I know that Rockstar is going to see a lot of this. I mean, Steam is already, I think, if it's almost down to mixed or mostly negative in the reviews for the recent reviews. But as long as that continues to push and, negative or with people leaving bad comments, it'll eventually turn that a whole game will be reviewed poorly, which that, as much as you might not think that would affect sales, it might put people on the fence. And there's a lot of people that are probably going to be buying it to mod it. People forget that. GTA 4 was the same way. GTA 4, towards the end of its life, lived on in a lot of ways through modding, making the game stable or modding in other things so you actually, wanted to play the game still because you were done with the story, you were done with doing all the side stuff, and that's exactly how GTA 5 has become too. There's so many people that bought the game, played through the story. I mean, I bought the game on the 360, the PlayStation 4, as well as the PC. I played through the story on the 360, played online on the 360. I played through, I think, a majority of the story again on the PS4, and then played, tons of hours on GTA Online. And then the same goes for the PC. Now, that being said, though, I've played way more, and this is probably where the problem lies, played way more single player than I ever did online on the PC version because I was able to mod it to my heart's desire. I was able to unlock cars that I would have otherwise, that weren't even in single player technically. Which that's the other thing too. This is where I get the money aspect behind it. They want people to be in GTA Online and make money. GTA Online became a moneymaker for them, a really strong moneymaker. Sales of the game, that's great. But if you can nail down those transactions that they are with GTA Online, if you can nail down people buying shark cards because you release the DLC for free, but people have to buy shark cards to afford it. So they know what they're doing. And I don't think for a second that they don't. I don't think for a second that this is anything other than money. I don't think it's anything other than that. Now, that being said, is it just Take-Two? Is it just Take-Two saying we need to make money off of GTA Online revenue? Or is it Take-Two with Rockstar saying, hey, we've got to make sure that people aren't just breaking out the cars and leaking, information about these cars before, we want to release them. We have to, close this down so people can't get this stuff for free. I think that's a large, it's a huge reason behind this. It's a huge reason behind this. And they're using the legal stance of, modding the game and them losing money because they have the ability to do so. Now, even the developer had said, the main developers of Open4 had said, they could go and fight this, but it would be a ton of money, and then you don't even know if it would even hold up, because Take-Two or Rockstar could use the reasoning behind losing money, the potential loss of money from this by the mod existing. I don't know, and I don't want to just go in circles about this. I don't want to just say from the side of a person that mods the game as well as wants to mod the game. I don't want to just talk from there. I want you to see kind of both sides to this, and that's why, as much as I just tweeted out this morning that I'm pissed about it, but at the same time understand the rights of both Take-Two and Rockstar. You sign a terms and conditions, or terms, the agreement basically when you use the software. And there's a lot of, I don't want to say loopholes, but there's a lot of places in there that they can determine at any time, basically, what constitutes legal use of their software. Long gone are the days where, you could buy a game and the terms and agreements, the terms were way less loopholey for the sake of the business too, but they were just shorter, and you felt like you really didn't need to read them. We still don't read them today. That's the other thing too. People do not read those, and myself included. There's a lot of stuff in there in terms of, we can modify this if we find people using things and doing things illegally, quote unquote, then we can shut them down and we can prevent it to protect the brand and protect their property. It's just unfortunate. I love Rockstar games. I think they've done a lot right. As I talked about in the last video I did about it, it's a gray area. Modding is a gray area, still is, for a lot of different games. A lot of developers are on the good side of it, or most of them are. And the same goes for Let's Plays, basically using copyrighted content, a lot of it copyrighted content, and playing it online. And it's been in a gray area mostly because these developers see it as free advertising. But could that be next? I don't want to blow this out of proportion, but could something like that be next? Because, Rockstar has had the stance of hands off. We know that our game being played for potentially hundreds of thousands, millions of people, and people consuming that content, they're going to want to play that game more. They're going to want to buy that game more and be able to share those same experiences that they're seeing online on YouTube and Twitch and what have you. But they also, as some companies, Ubisoft, talking about you, in the past, have seen some of those things, and kind of, some of it's been story related, and I get that. They don't want their story spoiled. They don't want certain gameplay moments spoiled. They want people to experience them in the actual game. But they use a reason behind it. And the next good example, could Red Dead Redemption 2, could Rockstar or Take-Two basically use that as we don't want people, playing through the entire story and streaming it or recording it. Rockstar does that with like cinematic moments. They basically don't want you to use the cutscenes out of context, and they don't want you to splice them together and make them basically into a movie. They want the gameplay to be with it. And then there's some other instances where they really don't want you to be live streaming or recording that content. And the music is understandable. Rockstar licensed the music, but that doesn't mean you have the right to broadcast that music again. And that's an ongoing problem with YouTube and Twitch and all that stuff. But sorry for going off that track a little bit. And this video is going on longer than I wanted to. But it goes back to it being in the gray area still. You have to Rockstar and Take-Two have to understand where their community comes from and what their community wants. But at the same time, they have legal precedents to shut it down. This is kind of what they just did. They have the right to do so, and unless somebody fights them on it, a good example is if they tomorrow said that Let's Plays, we're going to start claiming all the Let's Plays and stuff. They have the right to do so. It is their content. Now, a lot of people that are Let's Playing could make the argument that they're adding, and it's not, I don't want to say free use. I don't want to say I don't want to throw around the terminology that it is, it's legal for Let's Plays to exist, because I don't know that there's been that many cases of people fighting in court to be able to do that, or fair use. I'm sorry, I said free use. Fair use. But it's one of those things where that could set the legal precedent, and it could be in a bad way too. I don't want to blow this all out of proportion, but it could be in a bad way if for instance, Rockstar decides that, hey, Red Dead Redemption 2, we don't want people to be playing the whole story mode. We're going to claim all the story mode stuff. You'll be able to play Red Dead Redemption online, or Red Dead Redemption 2 online, no problems, but we're going to claim all the story stuff. And then somebody fights that, basically, or goes to court with them, and then they side on the thing of, well, it's, Rockstar's product. They can decide whether or not they're well within their rights to claim that and claim, the video and stuff, even though you are changing it by recording commentary over it and all that stuff. So that could set a bad precedent for the entire, Let's Play community. But God, I feel like in some way I am kind of blowing this out of proportion, and I apologize. I really wanted to stay on track talking about what this means and what it could mean, and I kind of did a little bit of that, but we'll have to see. I'm really hopeful that Rockstar, that statement to PC Gamer, though, makes me feel that this wasn't 100% just Take-Two. That Rockstar had to have talked to Take-Two, or they're obviously in communication with each other, and they're talking about it and what they can do. And it's not to say that higher ups at Rockstar don't want the money either. Don't want to guarantee that they make a certain amount of money off of GTA Online too. It's in their best interest to appease Take-Two. Take-Two's best interest is to make sure their investors get their money's worth. So it's in that chain. And we want to think, I guess, as the community, that Rockstar has our best interests at the core of it, but it might not be the case here. Oh man, I'm going to try to stop ranting on and on about this. Like I said, I've ranted on way longer than I wanted to, but I felt like I need to make a follow-up because Rockstar have issued a statement, basically, and we've seen the community really melt down about this, rightfully so too. Like I said, I'm not happy about it whatsoever. I don't think that Rockstar should basically allow it to happen. Rockstar should release, if Rockstar could, they should release the ability to mod GTA single player and make sure that all of those holes are sealed up. This is not, in my opinion, the fault of Open4. This is the fault of all these other tools that are used to modify and to get into GTA Online. It's not Open4. But that being said, I can't say if there is something in Open4 that really has let people get into those files and eventually modify them and all that stuff, but I just haven't seen the proof, and I haven't seen the mods that allow you to do that and everything, but I've never been into modding GTA Online, so that would make sense. But it's still unfortunate. We'll have to see how it progresses. I want to, if anything else comes out about it, if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen a couple tweets in jest about it. Some, there is comedy and comedy around something like this is what helps me at least get through it, basically, and realize that while it is in a negative light, you can joke about it in hopes that it'll get better, kind of thing. We really have to see. I don't want to make these videos. I didn't want to make the video the other day, but I really needed to just get it out there and just talk about it. And this is the same kind of thing. That's why I'm kind of rambling on and on about all this stuff, is because I have a strong feeling about it. And, make of it what you will. There are GTA Online players that are probably going to watch this video. And I saw comments in my other video that were Oh, I'm glad, because I play GTA Online and it's just modding, people coming in and modding and breaking the game and cheating and all that stuff. But those aren't the same people. I want to say that too. Like that's two different audiences. One's an audience that just mods GTA single player, myself included, and just wants to modify the game and add more to it. Then there's the other side of that cheat, mod online, money, money glitch, all that other stuff. There's two completely different sides. Some of that might cross over. Don't get me wrong. I'm not to say that, but there's a large majority of this community that has no intent on damaging the system that was set up by Rockstar. Just wants to add, just wants to create. And these are super creative people too. So, like, some of the most creative I've seen, super creative mods for GTA 5, and some of the best stuff that I played has been in GTA 5, because like I've said in the other video, it's such a great world to build on. And that was what was so great about GTA 4 too. Like, we had such awesome worlds to live in and add things and cars and other types of mods. So, like I said, it's disappointing. I'll have to see where it goes from here. If I will update, I will create more videos if stuff changes. And hopefully it does, because I think the community is pretty fed up. I think a lot of them are voicing their opinions, and I hope Rockstar's listening, even though it's, there's so much noise. Hope they're listening. So, sorry guys for taking so long to get numerous points across. And I hope you enjoyed this, though, or I hope you gained something from this if you hadn't seen my other video, or, you're just coming into this, or you don't really care at all. You don't really care at all. That's fine too. Make your opinion, decide what you want. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.